You know what stinks during a trial? Your text messages coming back to haunt you. And I thought for you, you might enjoy hearing about some of the text messages between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow when they were Daybell and Vallow and not married, and Chad was married to Tammy Daybell. Let me take you through a couple that are all of a sudden starting to make intriguing reading. July 11th in 2019, that's when Charles Vallow was shot, Lori's fourth husband. But what's interesting is that just 2 days later, still married Chad texts something to Lori. Ready? I am heading to bed so that I can come snuggle tightly against you. I adore you. You are truly my best friend on earth and throughout eternity. See you in a minute. Again, still married Chad says that 2 days after her husband, number 4, is shot. But August was a rough month for these two, and it looks like Lori gave Chad the cold shoulder because he was, still married. Let me read this. August 11th, Lori says to Chad, you should give all of your love and your attention to your wife and family. I'm just a distraction. Go have fun with your family. I really do want you to. I just can't be in the way anymore. If things change, we can talk. But we have nothing until things change anyway. Well, September 8th was the last day that Tylee was known to be alive. She was never again mentioned in a text. But the next day, September 9th, Chad writes to his long-suffering wife, Tammy, well, I've had an interesting morning. I felt I should burn all of the limbs and the debris by the fire pit before it got too soaked by the coming storms. While I did so, I spotted a big raccoon along the fence. I hurried and got my gun, and he was still walking along. I got close enough that one shot did the trick. He is now in our pet cemetery. Fun times. Here's the problem. There's no raccoon found in the pet cemetery. Tylee was found in the pet cemetery. And October 5th, Chad to Lori. Hello, sweet angel. Big news about Tammy. Please let me know if you're awake and can talk. I love you. He said she'd been taken over by a demonic entity. Not fully sure of the timing for removal, but once her actions verify the differences, I don't want to wait. That's curious. Let me bring in Gigi McKelvey, host of Pretty Lies and Alibis, the podcast. Gigi, let me just say one thing. You are so good at your job. I have to do speed writing, speed text notes, when I'm listening to you, because you have so many facts, dates, texts, everything. Are you getting a good narrative, a story that now makes sense, the kind that, a jury would easily be able to understand?
Oh, yeah. 100%. It all comes together. We were fortunate enough to get the Chandler document dump as well as the Gilbert document dump for the murders of Charles Vallow and the attempt on Brandon, which included a lot of these text messages. And so, yeah, it definitely points to some premeditation going on there in the Vallow Daybell world for sure.
There's a lot of damning stuff, but I feel like trying to it's hard, right? There's so much to sort of take in that the thing that seems to stand out to me the most, and I wonder if it does to you as well, is that raccoon business. Give me a break, that detailed garbagey text, and then the whole burning at the fire pit, and then Tylee's partially burned remains are in the pet cemetery. Do you think that is really the linchpin to all of this, or am I just forgetting more than I can remember?
No, I really do think that text to Tammy Daybell, which, by the way, investigators say was the longest text they could find between the two, was more of an excuse as to why there would be a fresh grave in that pet cemetery, because this text between Tammy and Chad took place 14 minutes after Alex Cox left that property after burying Tylee with allegedly Chad. So they had to explain this fresh grave. Also, a neighbor may have heard a gunshot. So I think that might have tied into the raccoon theory, that if they talked to a neighbor, they would say, yeah, we heard a gunshot. But I mean, these guys were just sick and really didn't think this through.
Okay, we are 1 week away from today. The trial starts for Lori Daybell. So will you come back, Gigi?
I'll come back anytime you want, Miss Banfield.
Yay! I was so hoping you'd say it. Thank you, Gigi McKelvey. Talk to you soon. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.